We are going to go through the 9 steps to make our goals a reality in 2022. That is how to set goals that stick. I love listening to Dean Graziosi, listening to Tony Robbins. So most of this information is what they share, and I love listening to them. So I wanted to relate to our listeners. So one of the things, of course, that we have to become as business people is to become congruent. You have to be able to have values, and when you have values, of course, then you have character. So when you are congruent to what we do, because sometimes you find people saying, it's like they say you preach water, but you drink wine. Yeah, it's a contradiction. So most of the time you're like, okay, what we say is what we do and what we are, whether somebody is watching or not. So the first step of the 9 steps to making our goals a reality in 2022 is to get and handle bigger problems in 2022. I want you to think of yourself as a business person who is now stepping into a bigger shoe. The bigger problems equals bigger results. And because the problems are the steps to a bigger future. We have said that sometimes when you're dealing with just small problems, the stress you get from dealing with small problems is equal to the same stress you get if you have a bigger problem. The only difference is that, let's say, be the person who finds solutions to problems your customers have. Every level brings you a bigger challenge, and therefore you want to be able to be disturbed, to take action, to be bold, to go to the next level. So if, let's say, I'm dealing with, let me just give an example of gardeners. I'm thinking of my home gardeners. What is their problems? If I identify what their problems are, and then I go big in identifying those big problems so that I can solve them for them. If you are on Main Street and you're providing a service, you could be providing, let's say, a salon business. You do hair, you cut hair, or you do nails, or you sell items on Main Street. You are solving a problem. When your customers come to you, whether they just want a meal, you're solving the problem of them hungry. They want delicious food. So go big, If you're a coach, you need to go big. You go to handle the bigger problems that your customers are having. If it is the marketing issues, then we have to look at what solutions can we bring them. So that is the first step. Go big and handle bigger problems because you're going to get bigger solutions. That's the first step. The second step, to take ownership of it all in 2022. A lot of what has been going on in 2020, 2021, of course, we had the COVID, we had the pandemic. There was a lot of talks from politicians and others. We sometimes feel like, somebody is coming to save us. Nobody is coming to save us as a business person. You have to take ownership of it. What we normally say is that don't ask for permission, ask for forgiveness. There is a certain saying, I like to say that sometimes, that is, don't ask for permission to go bold. Don't go ask for permission to go online. If you're a business that was not online, you are only selling your things on Main Street, you are waiting for customers to come to you. You know how we've been having the market, the open markets, where people, congregated and they came to you, they bought your thing. But now we're in a new reality. We are in a place where now people are not as comfortable coming to a physical location because we still have the COVID to deal with. But you as a business person has to start thinking, can I go online? I should be going online. I should be putting my business online. I should be marketing online. Yes? So you need to take ownership of it because nobody else is going to come and take ownership of it. And of course, our subconscious is always active. It's always trying to tell us, oh, no, I can't. I can't because of this, or I can't because of this. Don't listen to those negative, talk in your head. Just take ownership of it and say, this is the year I become an online marketer. Yeah, this is the year I get to find out where my customers are, and I'm going to find them. This is the year I'm willing to learn. So take ownership of it all in 2022. That's the second step. The third step is who you learn from, who you listen to, who you are persuaded by in 2022 matters. Because we always say that the most expensive mistake is taking bad advice. You probably have had maybe at some point you are fired up about something. You came up, you were thinking of something, and you were excited about it. You want to start it, and then you went and told your friend, or maybe you told your family, and then they said, "Oh, that will never work." And then these people will try to show you why it doesn't work. We've had situations whereby people always try to tell you what can't work. Yeah? And you sit there discouraged because you listen to the wrong advice. But who you are listening to, who you're surrounding yourself to, find people who have already solved the problem you're looking to solve, and then you model them. Look for those successful people. Like I said, most of the content I get here, what I'm sharing, I've learned from big gurus online who are successful, the Tony Robbins of this world, the Dean Graciosis of this world, the Russell Bransons of this world. So find somebody you follow who you know is successful, and then you can model. When you raise your standards, what you're willing to accept for yourself, whether it is for your health, for your impact, for your income, for your career, life will change when you raise your standards. Who you become, who you associate with. We normally say if you associate with people with bad character, you end up having that bad character, isn't it? If you associate with the people who are laggers, they just want to spend the day at the beach all the time. They don't want to work. People who just want to take the easy way out. Those are not the people to motivate you. Find people who will motivate you and join them. So that is the third step. The fourth step is you need to serve greater, listen more, love more, give more. Because, today people are really uncertain. There's a lot of people who are still scared of what we went through. What we want to do as a business person is to become a relationship marketer. You're a relationship builder. You first give. Normally we say, if you serve more, you love more, you go deeper. Like what we are sharing, you're providing speakers who can share something that might help somebody. That is what I'm hoping. And so most of the time I'm giving, free Zoom sessions. I do that a lot of times. I give trainings that are free because you want to be able to create that relationship with your customers. It's not always, how much somebody can pay you and that every minute you have to charge it. But first get to know your customers. And then when you get to know them, you become a friend, a relationship person. It's not just all about transactions. That's what I'm trying to say. Number 5, be brave, be bold, be courageous. Sometimes you have to ask yourself, what has the hesitation already cost to you? When you go forward with your ideas, you try it anyway. You try something even if it fails. We talked a lot about how to use social media for your marketing, yeah? And some of that we said is you need to go in front of a camera. You need to do videos, yes? Now, imagine if you're there trying to tell yourself, I don't look good on video. Or, I don't like what people will say if they see me on video. Or, so yes, when you don't have that confidence, when you don't try something and you don't fail, you're not growing. Because, if you tried it anyway and it didn't work, and even last year, I know there's a lot of businesses that tried things. You tried to market your products or your services this way. And then let's say it failed. You don't just sit back and say, I tried that and it didn't work. Yeah? It's like, keep trying. You try today, you fail. You try another way, tomorrow you fail. You keep trying. You try it anyway. Because at the end of it, you're going to succeed. At the end of it, you're going to find a system that works. Because you'll never know until you try. You can imagine let me give an extreme example. I'm sure when they launch the rockets, they must have tried many, many times, with the mini rockets. They must have tried something. You don't see the success of somebody. You know how they say what you see is only the tip of the iceberg. Below the surface is where all the growth has been happening. We always say when you see a successful person, there is nothing like an overnight success. You see all these big gurus you follow online or big business people you follow online. I mean, every single person, even when you go on Shark Tank, you hear all those people, all those successful gurus, they had a history of failure. How many times do you hear of Disney World When the person wanted to launch Disney World, how many times he was turned down by the people he was trying to find money from? Yeah? The McDonald's story, how many times he tried to get funding? Many, many times. You know, every single success story we know today, there is a story behind that of failure. But if you stayed in the failure, and you know, like if you're trying to date this year and you're like, okay, now I'm trying this time and I'm trying that and I'm trying that, or I tried this guy or it didn't work out, so I'm never going to date. Or I tried this girl, it didn't work out, I'm never going to, you have to keep trying, yeah? We have to make ourselves better, be bold. You try and try again, and because from those failures, you're learning something. Each time you learn something, yeah? Then number 6 is focus on solutions in 2022. You can imagine how many people started a business last year and it failed, but they did not try again. There are those people who said, oh, I tried this online thing, it didn't work, and therefore I'm not going to do it, yeah? So don't focus on the problems. If let's say you are cheated on by a business partner, or you failed in a relationship, or you maybe got a divorce, or, there's a whole range of reasons something happens. But if you focus on the fault, if you focus on the past mistakes, one, it takes a lot of your energy. It takes energy away from you. So we need to learn from the mistakes and move on. Focus on the fix. There's no need to analyze and focus on the mistakes, because that doesn't help you. It doesn't move you forward. But you need to focus on the solutions. So when people let you down and it went down, but maybe the failure will be the one to get you to where you need to succeed. I mean, I've had partners who let me down in business. I've had people I trusted and they let me down. But that doesn't mean that I'll never try again or that I'll never succeed again. It's like saying, the milk is spilt. We always say, don't cry over spilled milk. It's already gone. You cannot sit there and start analyzing why the milk got spilled. But life happens for us, not to us. There's a reason. We probably learned something a lot during COVID time, isn't it? A lot of people learned something. You learn to be resilient. You learn to be, to hunker on. You learned that life can still go on. Yeah? All right. Number 7 is the little things are the big things. So it's like going upstream to anchor the small things. They say small hinges swing big doors. So we need to be bold, and we do it anyway. When you have routines, you have disciplines, you have a way to focus your time to the things you need, you are able to listen to what needs to set you up every day. You have those morning leaf habits. You know how people talk about the morning habits. Don't start by just going on your social media and flipping through your phone, because it's going to waste you another 3 hours. Yeah? So what moves the needle in 2020? What can you work on that day in little steps? I was listening to this guy, John Clear, I think his name is. He's written the book on the atomic habits. And what he says is that it's the small steps that we take every day that makes the difference. There's a lot of times when we say, oh, when I get rich, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go on vacation. When I get rich, I'll do that. But why don't you start with the $10 you have today? Yeah? You start your day by fantasizing on the things you want to become. You have to start where you are, because if you wait for the big things to happen, like when you say, I want to be a successful entrepreneur like Tony Robbins, you don't know where he started. He started way back when, but he started with small steps. So you, as a business person, you need to start where you are. Let's say you want to start doing social media marketing. Start with one platform. Just focus on Facebook. Don't worry about Twitter. Don't worry about WhatsApp. Don't worry about LinkedIn. Don't worry about YouTube. Just do one, yeah? And every day you take an action. Every day you take an action. If you're looking for customers, you say, today I'm going to connect to 2 people. I'm going to look up these 2 people. We are going to try and connect. And then the next day you increase that number, and so on. So just take those small steps that are going to build up to the big steps. Number 8, help out even if things are not perfect for you. So when you help other people who don't have much like you, first of all, it makes you feel good. Yeah, there is that sense of gratitude. But also sometimes, you understand that it's not as bad as you thought it was for you. Because when you see other people who are hurting, like here in Hawaii, we have a homelessness problems. But you always say, when you go out there and unfortunately you see other people who don't even have a home. When you come to your home, even if it's one room, you appreciate it even more, isn't it? But also, sometimes people are just looking for a hug. Especially now, because people are going through a depression, they get overwhelmed of what is going on. And so sometimes take the time to call, to just give somebody a hug, to just find out how can you help somebody. You don't have to be rich to help others. You just start where you are. Don't wait for perfection. I went to visit one of my dear friends and I didn't even know, because we didn't connect during COVID. And something just made me think, oh, I'm going to go and say hello to them. And I came and I I felt so terrible because he just told me of a tragedy that had happened in his family and I didn't even know. And so this person just needed a hug, somebody to listen to. Sometimes we just need to do that. Just pick up the phone, call your friend, find out where they are, how you can help, yeah? Help out even if things are not perfect for you. Don't wait for perfection, all right? And then the last one is who and what over how. Don't think of only how do I do that. Sometimes when you ask your questions, how do I do marketing? How do I do social media? When you ask the how question, it sometimes makes us feel very overwhelmed. There are times when you feel, oh, what if I make a mistake? What if I don't know enough? I'm not young enough. I'm not old enough. Sometimes when you ask the questions starting with how, you get bogged down. But the question you should be asking is who? Who has done this thing that I can learn from? Who is good at marketing that I can learn from? Who is good at photography that I can learn from? Who is good at relationships that I can learn from? When you get that, then you master it faster. You get the right who. You need to find the right who. And that's why we always talk about a coach. When you have a coach, they hold you accountable and they shorten the learning curve. So those are the 9 steps I wanted us to talk about on how you can make your goals for 2022 a reality, how to go to the next level, how to set goals that sticks. And next week, we are going to go through the process of actually setting your goals. And so we'll be discussing that on Tuesday. But today, I just wanted us to get started on those 9 steps because they are very important in us creating the reality. Because, for the longest time, a lot of us, on New Year Eve, you write down your list of goals for that year. You say, I want to become rich. I want to become successful. I want to grow my business. I want to lose weight. I want to have a good relationship. And those are aspirational statements. You're thinking of you as something you're looking forward to. But what if we changed our mental status and we started seeing ourselves in that reality? Like if you said, I want to be earning $10,000 a month. You'll think of yourself 1 year later and you're looking at yourself right this moment of when you are earning and you're saying, I am now earning $10,000 a month in my business. And when you think of yourself already as that, you think of yourself already, the reality becomes the truth. But also now you start looking for the resources to make that happen. The resources to enable you to earn that $10,000, yeah? You become resourceful. Because most people fail not because of lack of resources. That's what Tony Robbins says. It's not lack of resources, it's lack of resourcefulness. When we are not finding the resourcefulness that we need to go to the next level, we need to get there, yeah? So I wanted to end there. I just wanted to let you know we'll be continuing this conversation